Hi, everybody. This is Tanya from Tango Business Coaching. This is day 14 of the 30-day leadership challenge. And today we are talking about awareness of toxic behavior. And it should really go without saying that toxic behavior is the lowest common denominator of your culture, meaning that your culture just can't improve and improve on a consistent basis if toxic behavior exists. So it's only going to sit at that level. So it's important to pay attention to. In those kinds of environments, employees don't feel fulfilled, they don't feel safe. They're often complaining about the dynamics inside the workplace. All of that leads to high levels of disengagement, low levels of productivity, high levels of turnover. Certainly, the quality of your product or your service is going to be degraded. So, if you think about it, the costs, both directly and indirectly, to your organization can be enormous when you think about being compliant with toxic behavior. So, you really do want to pay attention to it and you really do need to deal with it. So, I'm going to say two big buckets to pay attention to as a leader. So the first one is, maybe obviously your team and the workplace itself. So signs that you may have some toxic behavior in your workplace. There's low morale. There's low communication. Generally speaking, there is a high reliance on policies and rules, and that's because there's low trust inside the environment. High turnover, cliques or tight groups who form together, just indicating that inclusion or belonging actually isn't in place. Leadership being inaccessible is another thing to pay attention to. And of course, obvious toxic behavior like bullying or gossiping or blaming and complaining, people, feeling and complaining like a victim. And of course, very serious offenses like discrimination and harassment are beyond. So any of those kinds of abusive behavior are certainly toxic. Those for sure need to be dealt with immediately. The second big area to pay attention to, which is a little trickier, is of course your own behavior as a leader. And I can say I have never met anybody in a leadership position who has self-identified as being a toxic boss, but certainly there are many. Um, a brave and courageous leader will look in the mirror honestly and be able to self-assess whether they are the root of a toxic culture. A terrible, toxic leader, of course, only broods even more toxicity. So, if you pay attention to those symptoms that I spoke about before in that first bucket, then consider where it might be coming from. What is the root of all of that? If there's any chance that that might be pointing at you as the leader, for sure it's something to take control of and deal with immediately. I would say in most instances, it is rather unintentional that leaders are behaving in a toxic way, and most times it's unconscious to them, which is tough because in that case, it's really hard to become aware that there is something going on maybe with yourself. So, something to think about and something to pay attention to. So, of course, your role as the leader is to set the tone for the culture. Your own leadership style and how you interact with your people and with others can lead to either a toxic culture or one where employees are feeling really great and engaged. So, the challenge for today is to do a bit of an assessment. So, first, do a self assessment. Consider the symptoms that I outlined in that first bucket earlier. How is the team morale? How does the team communicate? Do all of your employees feel totally comfortable to approach you? Is there a frequent amount of complaining? Are there signs of obvious toxic behavior? If you need to, do a little poll with your team. Ask them, see what they have to say. Ask for their feedback on this. If the trust isn't there with your team, make the feedback anonymous and they can just submit it to you. Getting this information is going to be critical for you to determine how things are really going on your team. It doesn't have to be a big poll, it can be two, three, four, 5 questions. submit it in an anonymous way, and then really give you the information you need to actually be able to assess the situation. So that's kind of the first part of it. And then I would say the stretch part of it is to take a hard look at yourself, right? As the leader, are you modeling the behavior that builds trust, like we talked about in the video yesterday? Is there anything you need to do? Do you need to make any kind of shifts? So decide once you get the results from either your self-assessment or this little poll that you do, decide what needs to happen. It might be something with yourself, it might be something with the team. Whatever that is, based on the feedback that you get, take action on one thing. Take a step to deal with the toxicity. If there is an employee specifically who is behaving badly or in any way just poor behavior, have a courageous conversation with that employee, deal with it. Do not let that toxic behavior brood. If there's something you need to do it. If you're really unsure, involve some trusted advisors to help you if you need some help in this space. But whatever you do, just deal with this and take some action. So that is your challenge for today. Good luck. This is a tough one. I appreciate that, but it is so necessary. I think this is one of the ones where a lot of leaders just get tripped up. They don't want to deal with it, right? So go back to the video about the lies to yourself. That's where this one is living, right? So trying to become really hyper aware of this is so important. Check in, let me know how it's going. As always, if you need, somebody to bounce an idea off, I am happy to have a conversation with you. Just reach out, let me know. As always, if you need the 30-day challenge tracker, message me. Happy to send that over. So good luck with today's challenge, and I will see you guys here tomorrow. Have a great day.